How's everybody doing today? My name is Master Zero and welcome back to another reaction video. This time we are reacting to The Epic of Serina Part 1 by Curious Archive. Alright, so I'm super excited to dive back into the wonderful world of science.
Yes, science!
And just jumping into The Epic of Serina, I have no idea what this is about. Judging by what I've gathered, like thumbnails and stuff like that, I did snoop around Curious Archive's channel a bit. But yeah, it seems to have to do with like evolution and stuff like that. Like you picture just a species and then we're gonna see what it is throughout the years. That's what I'm assuming what this series is gonna be about. So who knows? So without any further ado, here is The Epic of Serina. And I have no idea what to expect from this channel.
For example, finches, alone on a lush planet without predators for hundreds of millions of years.
Okay, I like this idea.
Of incredible forms of life might evolve. If you consider
but if you don't have predators,
from a few rodent-like
you don't have the necessary changes, right?
Whales, horses, bats, and primates in a much shorter period after the extinction of the dinosaurs, you'll start to realize just how incredible things might get.
Ooh, this is going to be informative.
The idea behind one of the most detailed speculative biology projects ever created, Serina, the world of birds.
Oh, Serina, sorry, I said Serena.
Journey was
I apologize.
Created by Dylan Beta, an incredible artist and writer, and I have links below where you can follow and support his work. There's so much incredible detail to this project, and I won't be able to cover it all in a single video.
Oh, this is interesting stuff. Okay.
At the very beginning
but is it one guy?
With the introduction of life to the moon of Serina. The story begins when some force, perhaps aliens or advanced humans, places Earth life forms on the moon of Serina. Specifically, they put canaries into a terraformed ecosystem much like
Huge
Earth's.
Fan.
A few other species, including grasses, algae, flowering plants like sunflowers, tiny fish like guppies and swordtails, and insects like ants and crickets, are also left on the planet to create a sustainable food source for the finches,
there goes my
which are the only significant land animals on this entire moon. And then the creators of this mysterious experiment depart, and evolution takes over. The explosion
I was right.
in
It is about evolution.
is almost instantaneous. The artist speculates that lacking predators and with a near endless food supply, the population would skyrocket over the first 10,000 years.
Isn't that a bad thing, though?
Early specialization emerges.
I mean, Thanos was sort of right.
Insect eaters, plant eaters, egg eaters, and seed eaters all becoming subtly different
know there was
over
egg
the
eaters?
generations. In the sea, guppies and swordtails grow and diversify. Over the next several million years, this period, which is called the Hypostacene, sees small fish become larger and more streamlined, with hydrodynamics shaping them into familiar forms. Several million years in, and
like, note, he's saying million years.
With their numbers reaching
this is not a slow process.
Billions. Soon, larger flightless
overpopulation of everything
to feed on this growing food source.
Never mind.
As the sun rises 10 million years into this grand experiment, a truly diverse ecosystem of different species.
Oh, I love everything
forming.
about this.
Here, the thick-beaked axebills strut across the plains, near the large womblers and long-legged
birds are
already the moon of
the dominant
Serina
species.
Is a much
that is amazing.
Place from when these birds first arrive, and from here things will only get stranger.
Go on.
11 million years in, an era called the Tempestine begins, marked by a steady cooling and an increase in arid environments. A region called the Northern
A lot of information
Drylands comprises the largest temperate desert region on this moon, where all sorts of new species are emerging.
Yeah, I kind of forgot this takes place on a moon.
Here, and a large and lithe Ardgoose offshoot is strutting across the drylands, keeping an eye on fearsome descendants of the formerly herbivorous
the dead thing you're stepping on.
The skykes, which are now sharp-billed omnivores. Nearby, one of the first true predators on Serina, the small falconry, hunts a songbird under the branches of huge tree-like sunflower descendants. But below them all, in a series of tunnels, an even more interesting dynamic is unfolding. These tunnels are made by an enormous lobster-like arthropod, which, despite weighing as much as a small cat, is in fact a cricket. And with it in its home are strange little birds called ground serens. They can't dig tunnels themselves.
Like ground spiders or something.
The friendly crickets burrow to keep themselves safe, and in return act as lookouts. A very strange set of roommates indeed.
I love it.
Era
oh my god, I love this.
Serina continues to cool. In this changing environment, the artist imagines one successful branch of Ardgeese.
God, I don't like the legs, man.
On the path
Gotta
to
be
a
honest with you.
surprising yet useful adaptation, the birth of live young without requiring an egg. And in the coming ice age, this adaptation will prove vital to the branch's
Doesn't that define
success.
what a bird is, essentially?
Away from the mainland, however, the isolated Cryan Islands are not yet feeling the effects of the global cooling. Indeed, on these islands where food grows in abundance and predators are scarce, very different selective pressures are creating some of the largest and strangest species of birds so far. Reaching heights of over 10 feet or 3 meters, the chub birds are huge offshoots
Did you say chub
that
birds?
don't resemble any other
Perfect
birds
name.
on Serina at this time. In this paradise, there's simply nothing big enough on these islands to bother them. In time, though, the islands change. The chub birds pass
Is that a
on,
platypus?
and in their place, an even stranger species of megafauna emerge.
Megafauna?
These are the snuffaloes.
Snuffleupagus! Come on!
Almost the size of cattle, and with similar grazing behavior.
I wasn't expecting that big.
The snuffaloes are so heavy, however, that they
I
can't
want
support
one.
the weight on their 2 feet alone.
Oh, I
and
don't
must
want
also
one.
rely
That's
on their
agonizing.
beak for balance, which has almost become a third foot. Inefficient? Perhaps, but there are few predators on these islands that would make the snuffalo require speed. Save perhaps for one. The butcher raptor is an evolutionary newcomer
Of course.
and not large enough
Name
to
is
seem like a
Raptor.
threat to something snuffalo-sized. But the butcher raptor has something the snuffalo does not.
Numbers?
Intelligence.
Oh.
Butcher raptors are
that's
quite
important too.
possibly the smartest creatures Serina has yet to produce. Efficient pack hunters that can, in a group, take down something as big as a snuffalo. And in the oceans, life is also diversifying into unexpected forms. Take, for example, the sword sharks, predators whose sword-tail ancestors average.
That's pretty
6
dope,
inches
not gonna
in
lie.
length. The sword shark,
16
in contrast, averages up to 8 feet and preys on vast shoals of smaller fish, thrashing them with their unique tails to stun them. An even more incredible transformation has occurred in the case of the Giant Geminis, a guest entry into Serina conceptualized by Joseph Cawley. The Giant Geminis grows over 30 feet or 9 meters in length and consumes over 400 pounds or 180 kilos of plant matter a day. And yet the ancestors of these herbivorous behemoths are the tiny guppies. Truly aquatic birds called balloons also emerged during the Tempestine, like the starry pelicarrier, a species that incubates eggs under its hind legs and carries its young safely in its mouth. Right now, these
that was my question. I thought it was either prey or younglings.
The largest things in the ocean, about the size of a human diver. In the future, however, the circumstances for the balloons would change. However, it's not the balloons, nor even the Giant Geminis that one should be keeping an eye on long term.
Or was a frog?
These tiny, unfortunate, almost toad-looking creatures are called mudwickets. They're a species of fish that lives in tidal areas
creative
and
stuff,
are beginning
all
the
around.
process of crawling onto land. Right now, they're not up to much, but there are many millions of years to go in our great epic.
give them time.
Looking back on Serina's progress, 50 million years have now passed since the introduction of the Canaries, and the moon is now entering a period called the Cryocene. The climate, already cooling in the Tempestine, has now cooled further, and over half the moon's surface is locked in ice. In this new frontier, the live-bearing Vivus groups have come to dominate all
wish they'd tell me
niches,
like a
both at the
time
equator
frame
and
going
in the
on,
colder regions.
just periodically,
From
you know.
large tropical shimmer snoot Vivus who eat insects with their long tongues, to the lithe herbivorous ceralopes and thick-beaked carnivorous
That looks like a redbird. That is amazing.
To the tiny bumblets who burrow underground to keep warm, the Vivus have become one of the most diverse groups in this new world. Another successful Vivus is the Canaraboo, large, thick-coated offshoots of ceralopes that live in enormous migratory herds and can withstand the harsh polar winters of this region. The Canaraboo is the first true live-bearing bird, giving birth to fully hatched infants. Here, a mother protects its newborn from a giant falconary, aerial predators that have grown gigantic over the ages, but are not so large
that whole
they're
thing
ready to
was the
tangle with
thigh.
an angry mother protecting its young.
Yeah, you don't mess with mama bear.
Forests of pine
Mama
flowers,
bear.
plants which have evolved conifer-like needles, the more familiar descendants of egg-laying species hold on.
Oh, so
In this
yeah, the
more
plant life
temperate
would
region,
evolve
the
as
giant
well.
flightless anvil
I mean, this
beak,
isn't on
with a
Earth,
beak
so
that helps it crack open all manner of seeds, lives
That's
near
awesome.
its cousins, the swordbills, who are lightweight hunters. These holdovers are distant descendants
kind of
of
piece
the
together
axebills, and
what
in
he's
these
talking about
forests,
with the
their
names.
lineage will endure despite the dropping temperatures. Another familiar, though increasingly strange species are the molebirds, the descendants of the burrowing
molebirds, let's go.
Are now capable diggers in their own right.
Wrong bird, but I was
For
right.
millions of years, they've quietly tunneled underground.
That is awesome. That is amazing. I love this.
Above-ground megafauna. Also much changed since our last visit are the aquatic balloons, which are now one of the most specialized lineages of birds on Serina. Growing to more than 60 feet, or 18 meters in length, and weighing up to 15,000 pounds,
Let's
or
go.
6,800 kilograms.
Big boy.
This is a family of gentle herbivorous leviathans, which the artist describes as the largest birds that have ever existed. And at the water's edge, the unassuming mudwickets have continued to adapt, spending more and more time on land. They still don't look like much, but soon circumstances will change.
He's coming though.
But the time of the mudwickets
I hope he comes back, man. I hope he's amazing.
Jumping forwards to the late Cryocene, the final period we'll be covering in this particular video, we've arrived at an age of giants. On the plains, one large offshoot of the ceralope are the flutterbox. Colorful herbivores
kind of got the
with
raptor
a bright
vibe to
plumage
it.
Similar in many ways to the feathers of Earth's peacocks. The flutterbox are in turn stalked by the dinosaur-like trunk snouts.
They all kind of look like dinosaurs, man.
Make them effective predators with a high degree of
like a saber-tooth thing going.
Even more dinosaur-like are the cerastriders, the largest terrestrial bird that is yet to evolve.
I love the cross-species thing going on. I love it. I love this so much.
In height and weighing several tons, the cerastriders are the sauropods of their day, adapted to browse the highest branches of trees. But larger herbivores mean larger carnivores. The tyrant cerans, the grandest of all descendants of the distant axebill, are apex predators that can take down other large megafauna. Equipped with serrated beaks able to shatter
they're
bone,
like the T-Rex.
Tyrants are the heaviest land predators yet to evolve. This period is an early peak of megafauna on Serina, which now supports species so large and distinct they're almost unrecognizable when one reflects on the moon's first humble inhabitants.
Used to be the canary thing, right?
Over several million years, Serina would change once again, as an increase in volcanic eruptions on a larger scale than ever before would turn the environment on its head, giving rise to far more alien-looking creatures than what we've seen so far, which we'll explore in our next installment. That's all the time.
It's got me excited, man.
If you enjoyed learning about the moon of Serina,
I did. Holy crap, I did.
Beta using the links below. Also, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this entry, please lend your support and like, subscribe, and hit the notification icon to stay up to date on all things curious. See you in the next video.
This is delightful. I loved everything about this. What a pleasant surprise. Alright, so, I don't think I addressed, this was a suggestion, I apologize, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna put your name at the beginning. I'm sorry, I don't think I addressed you. I don't think I did. I might have. I don't know anymore. But, Ishant. I really hope I said your name right. Ishant. Again, I'm gonna have your name up on the screen. I apologize. This was a suggestion. Thank you so much for the suggestion. Credit where credit is due, because I would have never found this channel without you. Like, straight up. But, thank you so much for the suggestion. I wanted more stuff that had to do with, like, in a nutshell and, like, the scientific stuff. Piqued my curiosity. And this is literally called Curious Archive, and I love everything about it. And looking at the channel, they have stuff like biology of Subnautica and, like, the real-life biology of Pokemon and stuff like that. And it's really interesting stuff, like stuff I think about a lot, and I don't know, it's just really, really cool. Like another channel I actually get to like fully just dive headfirst into. I don't know anything about it, and the first introduction to this channel is just phenomenal. Like I love this so much, and it has everything I love about science, like the unknowing, like the questions that you didn't know you wanted to ask, you know, and like just everything about that, like a whole moon dedicated to like, yo, what if birds were the main example is what I got out from this. I have no idea. Like I don't know how many parts, at least 2. I see part 2, but it might be 3, who knows. But I am more than happy to continue this series and continue forward with this channel. It is really cool. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Leave a like down below, subscribe, ring the bell, and check out the merch and become a member. You get a video a day early. So with that said, I have been Master Zero. Y'all guys have been fantastic, and I will see y'all in the next episode. Later days.